Alright, how's it going, everyone? As you can see, we're doing something a bit different today, right? I actually decided to make an alt account on Epic Games, right? So I can, play through Save the World again for the first time. Or, not for the first time, but, play through it again through the lens of, like, a new player, right? That, like, literally just started playing the game, like today, right? So, yeah. As you can see here, I'm this is home base, right? I'm power level 2. I saved one survivor. I actually this is gonna sound so stupid. I actually recorded uh I recorded the first quest here, right? The fight the storm stuff, and I was explaining a whole bunch of stuff, right, about survivors and weapons and schematics, and then when I checked the recording, I found out that I was muted for half the video. So yeah, so I guess we're scrapping that one. So yeah, that's a bit of a blunder on my end. I had to actually also go through all my keybinds again and make sure that everything is in order because I was having some issues with building and just general navigation and my sensitivity as well. But yeah, that's all squared away now. I should be okay. But anyways, yeah. So the purpose, right, of this kind of gonna be like a new series as well. I wanted to do this when the game first became free to play, right? But issue is I was dealing a lot with school, right? I'm a student, right? I'm in college, and the semester was ramping up, right? It was like the last month of the semester, and I had to just dial in on finals and stuff like that. But that's all past me now. The semester just finished like yesterday as I'm recording this, so now I have more time to record stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna actually format these videos. I might just do a couple quests per video, or because I was actually thinking about doing Ride the Lightning, and then here our next quest in Stonewood is actually Storm Shield Defense 2. So I would actually be more than happy with just going to this mission right now. Matter of fact, as I'm talking, I'm just gonna cue us into the mission, right? And talk about and eventually get over here to Storm Shield Defense 2, right? Um, so what I did, I basically just explained the basics of heroes, cause I figure that there are gonna be players watching this video that are like literally brand new, right? And I have over like I want to say 1,500 hours of Save the World experience, maybe 2,000. I don't know. There's no actual way I can check that besides checking my Fortnite playtime on Epic. But I also have played Battle Royale, so it might coincide with there as well. But most of my time playing Fortnite, at least on PC, has been Save the World. So, and I have like 3,000 hours clocked in the game. So, yeah, I bought Save the World back in like 2019 or something when it was like on like a Christmas sale or something. So, yeah, that is something. And yeah, one thing that I also want. Okay, well, I don't know if this dialogue is talking over me or whatever, but hopefully my voice is able to be heard. One thing that's really cool um about Save the World is the fact that every hero has voice lines. I don't think that this is something that people actually care about anymore ever since the locker update, where you can actually use your Battle Royale skins in Save the World, right? But every hero has voice lines. I actually decided to take off my default skin in Battle Royale because this is a new account, so I have no skins, right? So, yeah, I took it off so that I can actually just play as Ramirez, right? And Ramirez is an amazing hero. She's one of the best in the whole game. It's straight up for dealing with for when it comes to assault weapons and SMG weapons, because she just gives out a flat 50% damage bonus when she's in the commander slot, which is the slot that you'll be playing the hero as. That is what your commander slot is. Um, so yeah, that's really nice. Like for example, if I try doing something that she can't do, like let's say I try to like reload my gun or whatever, or maybe okay, well, yeah, right there.
Not possible.
Not possible.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, so the heroes actually have voice lines, but I feel like that's something that people kind of just stopped caring about when the locker update happened. But yeah, it's nice to play as a hero every now and then to hear their voice lines. So anyways, so let's get through this mission really quick. This mission is called Ride the Lightning, right? It is a mission where you have to defend Lars's van. Lars is a character that you'll get introduced to very early on. I mean, this is literally like the second mission that I'm doing, and we already got introduced to Lars. But yeah, Lars is a really helpful person, and we have to defend his van. And we're gonna do that by, of course, building a fort around his van, setting up some traps, maybe just shooting them, the husks as they come through. One thing that is important though is that Lars's van does require blue glow. Blue glow is this little blue little thing that I've been picking up across the map, right? And it's really important because blue glow can also help you get stat bonuses. There's like these certain nodes across the map that you can deposit blue glow into to give you stat bonuses, which is pretty nice. Um, so keep that in mind. And one thing that I will also talk about is just to search pretty much anything, right? And save survivors when you can. As you can see, those 3 survivors that I've been saving while have been talking here have given me loot, right? Stuff like mineral powder, twine, planks, nuts and bolts, rough ore. These are really important resources because they're resources that you need to actually craft your weapons with, right? As you can see here, this tsunami that I have, these blast powder, mechanical parts, a power cell, and copper. Something that's a bit more scale to us, right, would be here, like this thrasher or this breacher, right? We need blast powder, twine, a rotating gizmo, and some copper, right? So how do you actually get those? Well, you just get those by just playing the game straight up and harvesting stuff. For example, so you can see here, I'm harvesting rocks and they're giving me rough ore mineral powder. I'm gonna harvest a tree and they're gonna give me planks and twine. Well, this one just gave me planks, but maybe I'll get some twine on this one. Yeah, right there, I got some stringy twine. It shows right there on the left side of my screen. And yeah, so and if you need mechanical parts, then of course then you have to search for stuff that like cars or power generators or trucks, stuff like that. But survivors can just give you some of that stuff by just saving them. Like if I just talk to this guy, gives me a reward. Look at that, planks, twine, and some wood to build stuff with, which is pretty nice. Also, this is pretty much how this mission goes, right? We need to just run around and look for Lars's van. There is a change they did where you can actually see a beacon in the sky, and that'll tell you where the objective is. So for stuff like an Atlas mission or for the lightning, like in this mission, right? I should be able to look up into the sky and find it. Issue is, this is a forest and there's trees everywhere. So I'm gonna try and build up here. Hopefully, oh, it's right here. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. It was literally right in front of me the entire time. But yeah, so we're gonna come over here. Yeah, here's the beacon. Here's Lars's van. Stuff like these mushrooms you can usually search, but I guess this one doesn't want to be searched today, which is fair enough. I guess you do you. But yeah, here we are in Lars's van. Usually he should be inside of here. I guess he's not in here right now. Oh, he's right here. Okay, there he is. Nice. Alright, so Ride Lightning is also a mission type that I'm very fond of. It's just fun because the defense missions for me personally pretty much encapsulate what Save the World is like meant to be. It's meant to be like, a game here where you go into a mission, set up a defense, build some stuff, and just, kill the husks, right? Which is, kind of what I expect the most out of this game, right? Install flying device, like so. A little cutscene. Yep. The flying device. It's a balloon. Yeah, so while I'm harvesting here, right, they actually give you some instructions on how to like set up a van defense. Kind of like this, right? Yeah, this is like how Lars's van is meant, like, ideally meant to be set up, right? Thing is, right, as you get higher, then this little pocket here, right, this little one tile, it's kind of awkward to just like put stuff in there. So what most people do in like higher end of in just any mission really is just fill this little pocket here as well with some walls. I would be building out of metal because that is the sturdiest material. I also will just be following this little guideline right here just so I can get the progress on here in this mission, right? But I also like to do something like this, right, where I just put more walls in here, right, so that it's a nice like clean 2x2 area, right, that I can just defend and stuff. There's some symmetry. It's easier when there's symmetry, and also it's also nice to put some covering like this over the van, This is not really much useful right now, but it gives us some area to stand on top of as we shoot the husks as that are coming through. And I don't think we'll see these enemies just yet, but there are enemies called lobbers and flingers, right, where they just throw stuff at you, right, and they can actually damage the van, right, if they are throwing stuff, and it's in like an arc that they throw it in, right, so they can actually land on the van and damage the van. So I also like just setting up like a little roof like this, and you can actually put covering on here. You have to go one more high, kind of like this, right? So just one more high. I'm trying to like balance myself, and then you can also, and finally now you can put like an actual like roof on top of this defense, or on top of this van. I also have to find out the keybind or like the setting so I can actually just like not have to keep pressing Q every time I want to build, because normally I should just be able to press my wall keybind and it should automatically build a wall, but I don't know, I gotta figure that out. But anyways, so the way how the mission starts, right? I'm not gonna set up any traps right now because I don't think we need to. The game gives us some traps, but I kind of want to save these maybe for the storm shield because I'm probably gonna do that right after this mission. But yeah, here's just the van, right? We open mission control and you start objective, right? So you can see here requires 2 blue glow, right? So, in Ride the Lightning, you do need 2 blue glow to start the first wave, but then you also got to get 2 more to start the second wave. This is how this mission works. It should be a couple minutes of defense, right? In the beginning here. Then it's 2 blue glow, and then once this wave is over, then we should have another wave. Oh, yeah, as you can see right there in the top left, defend the van 1 out of 2, right? Which indicates that there's 2 waves that we have to take care of. So, yeah, and here we have some husks. Level 1 husks, nothing serious. With Ramirez and with our weapon, we should be able to take care of this pretty easily. They also give you base Kyle as a secondary hero, which I might actually take into the Storm Shield defense. Base Kyle, right, is one of the best heroes in the game, hands down. In my opinion, he is literally the best constructor in the game, right? So yeah, there is some debate over that, but that's my opinion personally. But yeah, he's just a really good hero, and I mean, so was Ramirez. So it's nice that they just give you these really good heroes off the rip, which is pretty nice. So yeah, also our abilities, right? If you don't want to actually use your weapons, then you can also use your abilities here to take care of husks, right? Like here, this ability here with the minigun is called Going Commando, right? Also, I just realized it seems that I have access to all my abilities. I actually remember when I first started playing, you would actually get the abilities as you like leveled up your hero, but this is just like a level 1 hero that I'm playing as, and I have access to all my abilities, which is pretty cool actually. Oh, that's actually a W change, sure. Yeah, so you actually can play your class without feeling like you have to, without feeling, I guess, for lack of a better word, too handicapped. Just being denied access to stuff that you don't, like you should have access to, but you just don't. It's just pretty good. But yeah, as you can see, these waves are pretty easy. It's just a bunch of basic enemies that they throw at you, and I don't even need to like do all this per se. I could have I honestly built this out of metal and or out of wood, and it would have been fine. As you can see here, though, build more defenses, right? This doesn't usually happen as you continue playing. It just there's no timer, and then you can actually just take as much time as you want to build the second wave of defense, right? As you can see, the spawns actually change, and that's a pretty common thing that you're going to see, especially in Ride the Lightning, is, in the first wave, they're going to spawn in, like, a certain area, like how they were spawning in this area, but over here, yeah, but then as the second wave comes in, then, the spawns are going to change, so, now they're spawning here on the north side, and once again, I don't think I need to set up any traps, really. I also don't know if I even have, like, that many resources to make traps, and I don't really want to waste them on doing a level 1 mission, you know what I mean? I'd rather save it for the Storm Shield when we get around to doing that after this mission. Let me make sure that everything's recording nice and dandy. It is cool. Alright, so yeah, I don't think we need to set up any more defense. It's pretty simple, the stuff that we have to do here, so I'm just going to take this time to harvest a little bit, right? This is kind of what you just do. If you're like a brand new player, right, then I would highly recommend just harvesting anything, right? Like searching stuff, harvesting stuff, right? There's probably going to be a quest line that you will unlock later on where Lars will actually give you like a guide as to what to do, right? And he actually gives you some decent rewards for early game stuff. Yeah, right there. Ray was saying, yeah, flip the switch when you're ready, right? We're just gathering materials here while I wait. I'm lagging a little bit, unfortunately, but it's whatever. Because these materials we will probably need for the Storm Shield defense, and unfortunately, I used all my metal building this defense, which I didn't have to, but it's fine. But yeah, here is the next wave. And I think the text is bugged, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, we're gonna use our going commando minigun right here. Mow down these husks with relative ease. The minigun is also a pretty good way of clearing out debris, like all these trees here. At a higher level, we should be able to just mow down all these trees, but you know, because I'm a level 1 hero, literally day 1 of playing this on this account, then I don't have the power to do that just yet. But yeah, the abilities are really good to use. There are a lot of loadouts that are base round abilities. I'm lagging a little bit, sorry about that. Yeah. There are a lot of loadouts in Save the World where they're just entirely based around abilities or ability spam or just having a lot of cooldown on your abilities, making your abilities do a lot of damage, right? It's pretty nice. It's also a pretty nice way at just saving durability on your weapons, because one thing about Save the World as well is that every weapon has durability, right? As you can see here, my breacher is a little bit used up already because I've been using it this whole time that I've been playing, right? So keep that in mind, right? Here's a husky. The huskies, as you can tell, they have quite a bit more health. They're kind of like like the bigger enemies that they want you to kill. Nothing serious, just like a bigger enemy. They say as in like it's still like a basic enemy, but a bit more effort to kill him. As you can see, it took a bit more of a magazine there for my assault rifle to kill him, which is important. So yeah, this is just save the world from a new player's perspective, just completely solo as well. The mission should be over in just a couple seconds right there. There's even like a little timer that plays that ticks down. And yeah, that was Ride the Lightning. And as you can see there, then the balloon takes the van off to the sky. Nice little guitar riff. And yeah, the victory. There are stats for the mission, right? And this is really important, by the way. This screen right here. This is your Commander XP, right? Commander XP is super important, right? Because it actually, like, as you increase your Commander XP, you will become stronger, right? That's kind of like the baseline. You'll get permanent stat boosts. You'll get, stronger gadgets, right? Gadgets, I don't think it's something that they've explained just yet, but they are pretty important and a really useful part of the game as well to help you out, whether it's with defenses or offense or with resource gathering, mobility, stuff like that. So yeah, that was that mission, and I think we'll just let some dialogue play, and then I will probably just hop into Storm Shield, and that might be the whole video, where I just talk over the basics of the Storm Shield and whatnot, and yeah, just waiting here for me to actually load back into the game. And yeah, we got some loot. This shouldn't be anything crazy, really. We got some Battle Pass XP, Schematic XP, Fuel XP, some gold. Pretty good. The Lightning, some schematics, pretty good. Alright, really quick before I actually go into the Storm Shield, one thing that I want to talk about here is, yeah, this is your commander level, right? In this little bar right here, underneath the command tab, right? As you level up, you'll acquire these things, right? These stats right here, these are called your fort stats. This heart, these swords, this like this helmet, and this wrench, right? These are called your fort stats. These pretty much determine your stats, right? Um, the the F in fort stands for fortitude, and then offense, resistance, and tech, right? Fortitude just determines how much health you have. Offense determines how much damage you do with your weapons, resistance determines how much shield you get and how fast it can regenerate, and tech determines the abilities or the damage of your abilities, your traps, and your gadgets. Right. So pretty important stuff. This backpack over here as well is will also determine. It'll give us more backpack slots, right? Like right now, I only have 60 slots, right? But as you increase your commander level, then you'll get more backpack slots as well. Um, back in my day when I used to play the game, there was uh, when we get access to gadgets, right? You would actually get like these little points, right? And you would like spend these points to actually upgrade your gadgets, right? But I think nowadays they actually streamlined it to where that stuff is actually tied to your commander level, which is pretty cool, right? You don't have to worry about like some sort of like some extra currency to worry about. You know, you just naturally level up your gadgets as you play the game, which is pretty good. And your backpack slots and your build and repair speed and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty good. Also, survivors, super important feature in this game is survivors. As you can see, my power level is currently 3, right? And as you progress through the campaign of the game, right, you will unlock more survivor squads. And these are really important because they pretty much determine your power level. There's other factors that help determine your power level, but for the most part, survivors are like the main thing behind the power level, right? So it's really important to make sure that you know what you're doing with this feature. Um, so when you first start off, right, and did the first mission, I got access to the scouting party squad here, right, and it only gives you 2 slots, right, but as you can see, there can be up to 7, and then 1 lead survivor, right, and bottom line is, right, you want to make sure that okay, so survivors all have a personality, right, including the lead survivors, right, and the bottom line is that you want to get a lead survivor, right, in here that has a certain personality, right? Let's say cooperative because this guy has cooperative, right? And what's going to happen is that um, you pretty much want to fill out all your survivor squads with a matching personality type to the lead survivor, right? So, for example, this guy's cooperative, right? So let's say I have a cooperative lead survivor, right? What's going to happen is that this guy who's also cooperative as just a regular survivor, he's actually going to get a power level increase, which will increase the power level further, right? Whereas this guy over here, he's not cooperative. Instead, he's curious, right? So he's actually gonna, okay, quote me if I get this wrong or correct me, right? But I'm pretty sure the power level actually gets decreased if they don't have a proper personality type. I feel really guilty that I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm sorry. If any experienced players want to correct that for me, then please do. But I'm pretty sure you actually lose power level if they don't have matching personality. That once again, that could be wrong. I could just be talking out of my ass, but yeah, I should have probably done my research before. But regardless, bottom line is lead personality, right, and then fill out the other ones with matching personality. So yeah, and as you can see here, I have just my 2 highest power level ones here in this squad. I might actually get access to more survivor. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we actually get access to another survivor squad right here, the scouting party, right? Or not a whole squad, but the actual like lead, right? So we can actually, yeah, because this is a scouting party, so we actually get access to like a lead survivor, right? That we can put in there to boost our power level even further, right? And then X-ray tickets, and Explorer as well. Oh yeah, yeah, well that's cool. Yeah, so we get an uncommon explorer, and then we also get the scouting party lead, which is an explorer, right? So they just gave that to us off the rip, which is pretty good. And then we also get access to a support slot in our team, which is pretty good. So anyways, yeah, enough stalling. I'm just gonna hop into the storm shield and see what happens. Yeah, so this is our storm shield, right? This is actually the first time you actually get access to the storm shield. I was actually a bit like I don't know what the word is, like a bit shocked that we don't actually like have like the cutscene in the beginning, right? That we actually set up the storm shield, because I noticed in the quest line it says that the first storm shield defense is already done, even though I didn't do it. It just booted me into home base. But yeah, so your storm shield, basically what it is pretty much your entire base of operations, right? It helps determine how much of an area that they can actually access, like in the biome that you're in. Like for example, like we're in Stonewood, right? So because we're in Stonewood, then we have access to Stonewood missions, but because of our Storm Shield level, right, we might not have access to all of the missions, right, and all the power levels. Um, at the power level we're at right now, we're probably only gonna get access to like a handful of missions in like the first couple like power level 3 or 5 zones, right? Um, so yeah, that is something to take note of. So we have to build defenses, right? And the thing about the Storm Shield, right, is that anything that happens here in the Storm Shield is actually permanent, right? So every bit of resource that you invest into your Storm Shield will be here forever until you decide to, make modifications or remove them for whatever reason, right? So keep that in mind, right? That is the cool thing about the Storm Shield, and the Storm Shield will be very important for, just progress in the game. There's going to be plenty of missions that you'll be doing in the campaign, which require you to do Storm Shield so you can actually progress with the campaign. So keep that in mind. These are really important. And the cool thing about Storm Shields is that you can kind of customize them to your liking, right? As we keep playing through the campaign, we're going to get access to amplifiers to make our Storm Shield bigger, right? And these amplifiers can actually determine how you make your Storm Shield, which is pretty cool. And it'll also determine like what waves you're going to be encountering when you make your defense. But anyways, enough talking. Let's just get ready to build. Unfortunately, I did use pretty much all my metal on the Ride the Lightning mission. That's my bad. Can I please access my buildings? Thank you. So yeah, we're just gonna do like a little cute little giant box around the Storm Shield, right? Matter of fact, we're gonna actually double up, right? And this should be more than enough for this right now. Eventually, I will have to collect metal and replace all the stone with metal, just because like that's just kind of like what you want to do. So yeah, and then we can also patch this up over here with a nice little rooftop, like so. And yeah, that's our Storm Shield, nice and encapsulated. And one thing I actually will also use is traps, because I did get access to a couple traps just in the beginning, right? So we can actually use some of these wall darts here. And the wall darts are a pretty cool trap because they shoot up to 3 tiles high, or not high, long, right? So, this is 1 tile, 2 tile, 3 tile, right? So literally, as like a husk standing right here, then the wall darts will actually be able to target those husks, which is pretty cool. And they're probably mostly going to be coming up this slope right here, which will let them completely just get obliterated by this set of wall darts here. We can even put like some wooden floor spikes, set up a little floor, and set up some wooden floor spikes like this, right? A nice little cozy defense, right? And yeah, I think that's all we really have to do. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen, they're going to come in from the south. If they come from the east or from the west, then shouldn't really be much of an issue. But from what I remember, right, we should be able to take care of them from the south here, yeah.
Prepare for an attack from the south.
Attack from the south, yeah. So also, one thing to also know is that once you activate a defense, right, everything you do after that is no longer permanent. It actually goes away when the mission ends, right? So like if I start building more stuff, like just let me just place some wooden floors right here, right? What's gonna happen is that it's actually gonna disappear. Beehive. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, I'm actually glad they kept that, yeah, because that was actually one thing I was wondering is the little cutscenes that play when you encounter a new husk. So yeah, that's really nice that they kept that in. I thought they would actually get rid of that, but I'm glad it's in the game still. So yeah, so the beehive husk, right? I guess we can talk about this guy. He's just a husk. It's just a regular husk, but it has a beehive on its head, right? And as you can see here, it leaves a trail of beehives or bees that linger. And the bees are really annoying, and they will do a fair amount of damage to you. If you, of course, stay in them, right? So yeah. So nothing crazy right now. Also, if you didn't notice in the beginning, it said wave 1 of 2, right? So we're probably gonna have to defend another wave of husks as the mission goes on. We're gonna activate going commando here to just clear out these guys, like so. Perfect. And yeah, cool. That's nice. I'm make some ammo actually. You can never have too much ammo. Well, I mean technically you can, because there is a cap on how much ammo you can have, but you know what I mean. swap into your secondary, smash and then reloading your primary. Something about that, right? This guy seems to be caught on. Okay, right there, yeah, the wall darts actually took care of that husk right there, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I only had 2 of them, so I couldn't put one here. But it's fine. Right here, and there's apparently a husk that's... Okay, I guess they're stuck. That's kind of funny. They're stuck on that one tile there. Like so. And yeah, with just 8 seconds left, this was a pretty chill first wave, nothing serious. Yeah, pretty good. Don't have to do anything else.
We have a break in the action.
Break in the action, wave 2 of 2.
Another wave coming soon.
So yeah,
Prepare for an attack from the east.
now from the east, right? So had I known that, I would have actually set this up more to where I can actually put some more traps here, because I do have access to the ceiling electric field. The ceiling electric field here is an amazing trap, one of the most versatile ceiling traps in the game. Has this cool feature where you can actually place it up to 2 tiles high, and it will zap anything in like a 3x3 radius beneath it, which is pretty good. But clearly, I don't have access, or I forgot to actually set up traps on this side. But it should be okay. And the lobber. So the lobber, right, is going to quickly become one of your least favorite husks to worry about. The lobber, what they do, they are range husks, right? Oh wow, I just lagged off the defense. Cool, good to know. But yeah, the lobber is going to quickly become one of your least favorite things to worry about in this game, because they throw these purple skulls at your base, right? And they tend to do a lot of damage, especially if there's like a lot of lobbers spawning, right? And there are, you know, ways to counteract that, right? There are traps in the game that actually will able to snipe their throwing skulls that they threw. As you can see here, like that was just 2 skulls that it threw at, and base already got kind of messed up a little bit. Yeah, this could be kind of a bit more tricky actually now that I don't have access. I didn't put any traps here, but it should be okay. Right there. Take care of you, nice. This husk here, the pitcher, they don't actually do like an intro for, but the pitcher is just another range husk that, like, you know, throws bones at you. It's something, you know, they don't do too much damage, but they can also damage your structures. They actually tend to target you, the player, instead of actually targeting buildings. So you know, that's, you know, do that information. I don't know what the saying is. I'm just gonna stop talking. But regardless, yeah. So I should have set up some traps here to make this a bit more simpler, but it's whatever really. It doesn't really make the mission that much more difficult. It's just power level 2, second storm shield defense, right? So we'll make some ammo. I'm already a little bit tight on that right now. And yeah, this is the second storm shield defense. I'm surprised there hasn't been any more lobbers. I thought there would be more. They kind of just throw that one at you and just say, hey, it exists, be prepared for it in the future. So yeah, if you have like a sniper on you, that's also like a pretty good way, or like a long range weapon, that's also a good way of dealing with lobbers. I think I actually do have one. Yeah, I actually have the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle that they gave to you after completing the first mission that I didn't show because I muted myself on accident. But as you can see, also the abilities are really good. It's really good to cycle between your abilities when you're playing as like any class, really. Soldiers tend to be more focused on actual weapon damage, right? But there are some loadouts for soldiers that you can actually take advantage of their abilities. There are frag grenade loadouts, there are going commando loadouts, there are shockwave loadouts, right? The best one is definitely the going commando loadouts. Those are the most impactful ones that you'll probably be. Oh, okay, I just placed this on accident. I didn't mean to do that. It's fine. But yeah, the going commando loadouts are definitely going to be stuff that you'll grow to like as you keep playing the game. But yeah, that was the second Storm Shield. And yeah, I kind of just want to end the video there. I don't really have much else to say. I will actually just pause real quick and go back into home base and show you, like, you know, the stuff that we got in the Survivor Squad. So yeah, give me 1 second and I'll be right back.
Feel that shield power?
Alright, so we're back in home base. We got our access to our
Now
rewards.
that we've upgraded home base, we have more room for survivors.
Yep, that is correct.
Put to work.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, so Now we have access to our first support team of our hero slot, and we also have access to our first lead survivor.
That was some fast word spreading. All right.
Alright, so some dialogue played, you know, that's gonna be, you know, shoehorning us into the next mission, the next campaign quest, but before I end the video, I will go over the survivors real quick. And yeah, we got our, as Ray is saying here, we've acquired our first survivor squad. Yeah, good leader, survivors, squads, survivor squad. Survivor squad's leader personality, having a leader's personality match with the squad will provide. Yeah, yeah. So this is basically what I was saying, right? Where it's like you want to have a personality match with the leader so that you get more power from the survivors, right? Yeah, right there. Literally what I'm saying. So yeah, we got access to this survivor, this lead survivor right here. So filling out your survivor squads, maximize your Fortnite attributes, increase your power. Yeah, perfect. Automatically filling survivors. Yeah, so this is also something that I did right in the beginning was actually turn off autofill. In the beginning, if you're like brand new and like you don't really get the idea of how like the survivors work, autofill is totally fine, right? But as you level up, then you're definitely going to want to have actual agency over what survivors you slot into your squads, right? So yeah, we're gonna put this lead survivor, as you can see here. He is an explorer, right, which is what we need for the scouting party, and he is dependable, right? So dependable means that ideally now we want to fill out all these squads that I have available with a dependable survivor, right? So that we get more power bonus. And okay, yeah. So that thing I said earlier about lowering power level, it actually is not true. Thank goodness, right? So yeah, as you can see here, we have they're still 15, right, which is pretty good. And I do have access to a dependable survivor right here. Thing is, right, as you can see here, this survivor is only giving us 3, whereas this survivor is giving us 15, right? So it's kind of funny how that works. And let me actually do something real quick. Let me check something out real quick. Yeah, so see, this is also a pretty cool thing about survivors, right? Where it's like I'm noticing how my stats here are actually getting decreased, even though I have this survivor here that gives more power level, right? Or am I tripping? No, right? Is it?
Team bonus.
Huh. I could have sworn I saw that it was changing, but it seems to be about the same. Yeah, okay, so it seems to be about the same, which makes sense because, this survivor does give more power level than the other one, so yeah, eventually, we will fill this out to have matching personalities and stuff, and of course, have a higher tier of lead survivor, but yeah, that was basically my intro here to this Save the World noob series. Brand new account. Pretty much, I got nothing to my name, pretty much, right? Oh, also, if you're wondering how I got these schematics as well, these legendary schematics over here and these other schematics, it's because when I actually first booted up the game, they gave me a legendary troll stash llama that I redeemed here in the exchange, right? So yeah, that's pretty good. Also, the Baron and the Wild West llamas today. Oh my god, I love the Baron. But anyways, yeah. So I had a legendary troll stash llama that I redeemed, and I got the slice and dice and the tsunami. I also got the ceiling zapper, the vacuum tube axe, and I got the dragoon as well. And of course, I got those survivors and some of these blue schematics from that stuff too. But yeah, that was episode 1 of the Fresh Account playthrough. I don't know how I'm gonna format these videos. I might go step by step and do individual campaign quests, or I might do campaign quests one video at a time as I go. But yeah, if you guys like what you see, then stay tuned. Use my supporter code STOCKINGS. Matter of fact, I'll even type it right here. So if you want to support me, then code STOCKINGS. You want to buy whatever you want to buy, right? So yeah. I will catch you all later. Stay tuned for more videos and check out my other content. Join the Discord, like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys later. Bye bye.